After playing the Atelier Arland Deluxe Pack recently, my expectations for Atelier Lulua were pretty high. Having loved all three of the original Arland trilogy, the idea of playing as Rarona's daughter was something I was very excited for since I loved Rarona so much as a character. And with Lulua's own charm and the gorgeous step up in visuals, playing as her in this continuation to the Arland world seems very promising with the way it embraces old systems and combines them with the good things about modern Atelier. Full of events, fun characters, and synthesis with plenty of inspiration from the original Arland games, Atelier Lulua seems to take the best parts of old and new and adds new systems to give something new to the already addictive gameplay loop. And this demo made it seem like a game that will both appeal to Arland newcomers and veterans in this modern feeling entry. Atelier Lulua is set in a new town called Archeles, where Lulua and her many friends live, including new characters like her childhood friend Ava, and returning characters like Atelier Totori's Piana. Lulua lives day by day studying to become a great alchemist to surpass her mother, gathering materials and studying with books and her teacher, until one day a mysterious book that only she can read appears. Despite the fact she's the only one who can read it, it's not a simple book to read and requires her to do a lot of work to decipher the meaning of its contents. So with this book giving her purpose and a way to improve her skills, her journey of learning about alchemy and the world of Arland begins as she sets out to unravel the book's mystery, with plenty of light-hearted moments sprinkled throughout the first few chapters I played. In this journey, there's plenty to make players of the previous Atelier Arland games feel nostalgic, and I was impressed with how well these moments were interwoven into its first few chapters, as it's still very accessible for newcomers. The demo I played featured the first few chapters of Lulua and had a heavy focus on introducing Lulua's energetic personality and the new characters that all bring in their own dynamic as they interact with her. Since things are centered around Lulua, it's easy to keep up with what's going on and focus on getting to know her as a new character. And while knowing she's Rarona's daughter does add a certain intrigue for Arland fans, she's a fun character in her own right too. There are small moments that will be exciting for those who played the Arland games though, like Lulua expressing her love of the famous Al's alchemist Maruru that was both a cool throwback but also served the purpose of catching newcomers up on who Maruru is. So in these starting chapters it seemed like both groups of players were kept in mind for Lulua's journey. And while I no doubt had a lot of extra excitement from seeing characters like Piana all grown up, newcomers will still be able to enjoy Lulua's fun personality without knowledge of the previous games. New and old players will likely enjoy the simplicity of the revamped systems in Atelier Lulua, which take inspiration from the original Arland games and also use more modern Atelier interfaces to keep everything as smooth as possible. The gameplay loop of gathering materials through exploration and battle, then synthesizing items for quests and to progress the story is still there, but little things like not having to confirm every single item you're picking up and being able to quickly remove materials while synthesizing gives the smoothness more comparable to recent Atelier games. Alongside this, interfaces themselves and the maps are all stylistically reminiscent of the Arland games to help keep me feeling at home in these new systems, with even some of the button controls and shortcuts being exactly the same for things like saving on the map, something I thought was pretty neat when my Arland muscle memory kicked in. While I never felt the Arland games were clunky, the streamlined gathering and synthesis made things feel even snappier to do, and with extra things like a similar side quest system and plenty of stores to take advantage of like I like to do in games like Rarona, it's a good marriage of old and new Atelier systems, and as the satisfying gameplay loop tends to do to me, I'm already keen to come back and complete more of its quests just like most of the Atelier games I've played. There are a few significant additions to the gameplay loop this time around, such as the use of the mysterious book that Lulua finds that seems to push the story forward, with solving its small keyword mysteries progressing the story and opening up the world. This is a small change to the progression of the other Arland games and goes more towards modern Atelier, since where the original Arland games usually had one overarching goal, like keeping an Atelier running or expanding a kingdom, Lulua's goals include the overarching goal of solving the book's mysteries, with clear smaller steps in between to give a more direct and linear path, presumably to get players to its good endings easier, much more like modern Atelier games like Liddy and Soul. With this, it takes out a lot of the pressure from the previous Arland games. The time limit is removed, and since what you need to do is pretty much spelt out, you can follow its path or do side content without the fear of failing the bigger goal, and this move will likely make it more accessible to players who are put off of doing everything within a time limit in previous entries. While I liked the challenge the time limit limit brought in the other games, I can understand why they changed it, so I'm curious to see if time will affect things like when quests or events appear. And I'm also curious to see how many multiple endings this entry will have, as the previous games had a lot tied in with the game's calendar. In any case, from the way the book gave tasks in the demo, I always had something to do, and the tasks given felt like they gave a smooth progression, with a good balance of gameplay and story moments as I did them too. The other significant change I noticed was the new interrupt feature in battles, which allows you to equip an item that you can use between enemy attacks for an extra hit, or at opportune moments to try take down an enemy before they defeat you. Since this demo only covered Lulua's first few chapters, enemies were pretty weak, so I didn't really need it, but the extra attack is always appreciated and seemed like a good way to get the most out of your best items, as I noticed that the item I equip's uses refreshed with every new battle. Another change is that you can have 5 party members in this entry, and although I didn't get to play with that much, with playable characters like Piana and Rorona, if trailers are anything to go off, it'll be cool to make a party mix with new characters and my Arland favorites, and makes me look forward to trying out combat more in the full version. One final thing I wanted to mention that stood out to me in this demo was the gorgeous look of the game. The visuals are not only a huge upgrade to the general appearance of Arland games, but were used well to really heighten story events, with movement and comedic moments making me really appreciate the upgraded style. The other Arland games for the most part use the 2D, visual novel-esque storytelling style with character sprites on the screen, with some exceptions in Maruru, but Lulua instead completely uses the gorgeous modern Atelier 3D style character models and is much better for it. The use of 3D models makes things feel instantly newer, and quickly appearing characters and movements really heighten some of the comedy in the script, giving a nice lively feeling to everything so far, with the trailer shown at the end showing this even more, with characters emitting rage flames and peeking around corners that look like they'll really bring events to life. And as a bonus, when comparing both the Switch and PS4 versions of this Lulua demo, the Switch version seems extremely comparable to the PS4 one, which was a big relief as there was a noticeable difference in Lydian Soul's console versions that had me a little worried. But with Lulua, it seems just as clean and as lovely as the PS4 version, and has me considering getting it on Switch to have it portably. Since Atelier games usually have many events to unlock, the comedic tones supported by the new visuals on both PS4 and Switch have me excited to unlock them, since the new visuals make them seem funner than ever, and with more places given the visual upgrade to look forward to finding, the visuals seem like they greatly enhance this new experience. As someone who loved the Arland trilogy so much, Atelier Lulua so far seems as fantastic as I'd hoped it would be. It takes the addictive game flow I loved from the trilogy and combines it with the smoothness of modern Atelier to make a new world and a tribute to the old one. And even though I'm only a few chapters in, it successfully refreshed my Arland itch that makes me want to go back to questing and collecting with the smoother systems in this demo. Lulua as a character seems like she'll be fun to spend time getting to know too, with her energetic impulsiveness making her seem just as lovable as the other girls so far, and with the addition of movement to make events more amusing, I'm excited to find more of the comical moments in this beautiful looking world. As a fan of the Arland series, the quality of Atelier Lulua so far makes me feel like I'm lucky I'll get to experience Arland again in this polished form, and while I'm sure I'll come back to the demo to do more quests and gathering before the full version comes out, I can't wait until May to explore this beautiful version of a world I love with its new additions that this demo made look great and well worth playing. Thank you for watching this video. Let me know in the comments below if you plan to try Atelier Lulua and if you've tried the other Arland games. You can like and share this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to my channel for more JRPG content like this, and ring that bell to get notifications on whenever I post so you don't miss a thing. You can check out more videos here, or you can check out the blog at jrpgjungle.com, and you can find me on social media on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, all at jrpgjungle. Links to those will be in the description below, along with where you can pre-order Atelier Lulua. Until next time, thank you, bye!